What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Monday afternoon to all of you. 5:30 p.m. out east in NYC, 2:30 p.m. in Las Vegas, 3:30 p.m. here in San Jose, Costa Rica. We have a packed show. We're going to start off with Drew Martin in 12 minutes. Going to go over some college football. Then 15 minutes after that, we have the Big Ragoo. Going to talk a little bit about the Monday Nighter and then move into college football. And then J Money closes out this show. We're going to break down each and every NBA game on the card before we send you off to get paper. That's the plan. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. Vinny Cornell. First in the chat, DX Filer wakes up. I love it, DX Filer. Alex Ramirez is the star of the Spidey play of the day in action. Johnny Google ready to go. Take it easy. Says thoughts on this teaser. Nuggets and Raptors pick 'em with under 51 Steelers Dolphins. I mean, I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, I mean, I like it a lot. But I with the Raptors game and the way that it's at, when we're dealing with these fives, I don't even know if you need to tease them. If the Raptors don't cover the 5, if the Nuggets don't cover the 5, there's a high chance they lose. But I like the Nuggets and Raptors. In fact, I like the Spurs as well. And I like your under 51 with Steelers Dolphins. Teasing it up that high. I like that. Shout out to Rosie. We got Rosie now. It's Big E. David Morrissey ready to get to work. Gambit. Chump Change is here. Ron Lofton. Kanoska. There's Shadow. Shadow back in action. Cheers all. It's my second day home from the hospital. Spent 10 days in ICU. Then another 5 days in PCU. Just part of the process. Caught a few shows after the fact. Hopefully we'll be able to catch live more. Much love to you, Shadow. So great to see you back in action with us. Man, we love you dearly here at Betting with the Bag. Shadow, OG low bagger, and great to hear that you're back home. And we just have so much love for you, Shadow. Spectacular capper. Geghard A in now is Rye Cape. Dom Ricci smashing Major League Baseball. Our friend Dom Ricci. There's Prince of the City. Nut Flush Answers. Can't wait for Monday Night Football with the boys. That does sound nice. I have a bottle of Hennessy in my bag, ready to break it open to celebrate with you, Nutflush Island. But I'm not going to be able to scream black and yellow at this point because I haven't taken them minus 14. How can I take the Steelers at minus 14? I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to grab the fish. It's a tricky Monday nighter for me at this point. But I'm looking forward to hang with you as well, Nutflush Island. My guy, Rayhan in the house. Mally Mal, Drexley. Rayhan saying Spurs minus 5.5, Denver minus 5.5. I love it. I absolutely love it. There's Take It Easy. Take it easy. Rod Sawacki, Stack Wop, Smackuzu, Tomarino Tomor. So I think there's value with Toronto. Orlando did nothing to improve their roster. Toronto's been strong home. I agree. And it just seems like everybody's on Orlando right now, but I went ahead. I took the Raptors. I went ahead and made a move on the Raptors. You know, I just feel like this is a spot for us where we still have so much. I know it's our third game in 4 nights, and that's not easy. But it's just a spot where we can send a message to the Magic that even without Kawhi, we're still going to smash them. Rockstar Clark in the house. Just here to show some love. Thank you, Rockstar. Kane in HD. Magic plus 4.5. Lock it in. See, that scares me. Buffalo on the beat says the fish is a play. Fitzmagic going to keep it close. Eric Swells. Ready to go. Tyler. Tri Sawyer. Sean Mundy. Chad Costanza. Shadows on. Buffalo regulation. Vancouver money line. Bulls. Knicks under 225.5, Jazz, Suns under 225.5, and also Denver. I like seeing that. And Tom Reed says, Jimmy, our guy Shadow out of ICU to join us. Man, yeah, I love Shadow so much. Shadow's such a fighter, teaching us so much about how to handle adversity. Cash Thompson says, anybody like Trae Young with 26 points tonight? Well, he's gotten, for 38? 38 and 39. I mean, the guy's been incredible. Paco Healy in the house. Paco, the bartender, Harry Dubitsky in the house. Okay, let's get to work. Let's get to work right now. Okay, so let's talk NHL for 8 more minutes. We're going to finish this show breaking down each and every one of these NBA games because I wouldn't mind adding a couple moves. Colf Coleon, Antoine Seymour. The team is together. Just damn Jimmy back. Bet on black and yellow just so you can start rapping black and yellow when you're winning. Yeah, it does make me feel good to back the Steelers. But 14-point favorites? Triple K Marine says, where's Matt Randall with the taint play? The taint play of the day is Bowling. Was the taint play of the week. Bowling Green. Sean Mundy says Steelers minus 14, such a trap. I mean, how can we have confidence on either side? Okay, but we're going to talk about that with Ragu. Let's go over these NHL games and decide if there's a move to make. Because at this point, I'm not getting enough out of backing a dog against a 9-2-1 Sabres team. I need to be getting more. It's like plus 101 now. I mean, we're getting to the point where Buffalo has value. Now, Arizona is prime. They're rested. They had those 2 games earlier in the weekend against. It started off with what? It started off with a ugly 4-2 loss to the Islanders, and that was their first loss in regulation since October 5th. Then they come back and beat the Devils 5-3. So they come back, and that completes their 3 games in 4 nights. A tough little run on the road. And now they're rested and ready to attack the Sabres. And they weren't going out in Buffalo last night, although I love Buffalo. But they weren't going out in Buffalo last night. Rod's wacky, Sabres minus 1.5, Canucks minus 1.5. I like that. No, Von Polo still watching workout videos for the Breeders' Cup. Omaha Beach looks like he wants to go. Omaha Beach could still be the best dirt horse in the world. I'm surprised that they've ran him the way they have. You know, you'd think he'd be primed and ready for the Classic, but at the dirt mile, what are you going to get on him? You're not going to get I mean, I've got money to bet on him, but what? I'm concerned that it'll be too short a number. Elliot V on Vancouver money line, Buffalo money line. Gegard said Buffalo total down to 5.5 and minus 115. Let's go over that spreads and totals here at sportsreview.com SPR odds page. Yeah, so there's been a 5-cent move to the under, 5.5. With these 2 power plays, Buffalo's clicking at 28.9%, Coyotes at 21.2%. I might even lean towards the over, and that's what Take It Easy's doing. Gerald Martinez says, everyone betting on the Magic Wand and Fitzmagic, no thanks. The real Fitzpatrick is not being talked about. Minka. I like the way you put that, Gerald Martinez. Man, I like that, man. I like it. There's lick my balls in the house. Melvin Matanzas recap of early picks. We're all we're all NBA. And I'm on favorites. 3 favorites all around the same spot, around the 5-point mark. I got the Raptors. And what did I get the Raptors at, speaking of which? Because they quickly went down to 4.5. Oh, I got them at 4. Wow, that's the best you could get. That was at 5 dimes, minus 4. But I bet them at 5. There was money coming in. I could have got them at 4.5. And I did not. Von Burgess on the over in Vancouver. Tormino says Buffalo's good chemistry. They play well together. They sure do. But I guess I have a slight lean to the over, and I don't know if it's enough. But I think Hutton can bounce back. There's Chris Lee cheering on our Niners. God, it feels good. It feels like a dream. I guess there is something with that over. Buffalo likes to score, but they just came off a very important win. So they lose to the Rangers in Madison Square Garden 6-2. They come back, they go into Detroit, shut them out, and win a 2-0 game, and that must have felt good for them. I don't feel confident enough taking the over. So I agree, Tomor. Big character guy. But I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. All right, so then we move on to Panthers-Canucks. Another total that's at 6.5. I still feel like the Canucks are going to be a team that plays the unders, but I'm certainly not going to take an under 6.5 without Trocheck in the lineup. I need to know that they can slow down this Canucks power play, which hasn't been that good this year, 20.9%. It's actually become hot in the last, especially against Capitals, last week or so. Vancouver lost in stunning fashion to the Capitals, and you think they come out firing. Panthers are probably fat and happy, but I do not want the Canucks as favorites, and I do not think they're as good as their record. Hank Moody said, Jim, my whole point on the Niners yesterday, our boys never do me wrong, fam. I love it, Hank Moody. Great job, and I wish I was with you on it. It was another situation where there were a ton of sharps on the Panthers, and it kept me off. Sharp money in the house. Love seeing that. Von Burgess got this total at 6. Nice job. So, sadly, I do not want to reach in NHL, and I'm not going to. Mally Mal liking Yotes plus the under. Mally Mal talking about the Panthers on the back-to-back. Yeah, they looked great last night. It was not a traditional back-to-back just because it wasn't a night game. It was in the afternoon. Mally Mal blew their load, 6 goals. Then this is an 18-year-old kid you're talking about who's got loads of plenty. This Panthers team can score. Panthers, Canucks, Coyotes, Sabres. Look, this NHL record means so much to me. Pop it up right now so I don't make a play. I coming off a loss on Friday, but I just don't want to force things, and I'm not going to. Antoine Seymour, Panthers team total over 3. First period over 1.5. I like that. Chad Costanza says, Jimmy, when we talk UFC 244, I have great insight on Gillespie. Went to high school with him, still talk to him, ready for this fight. Oh, Chad, that's great stuff. Absolutely. Chad, you're on Twitter, right? Give me your Twitter handle, because that would be fun to get you to put a little video together for us or something. I love it. All right. Okay, look at our guy Paco Healy. I'm going to get Big Boss hammered this weekend. So jealous of all you guys partying in Vegas together. Man, jealous. Hank Moody said, I just knew one thing for a fact. Jimmy G over Kyle Allen. My boys wasn't going to lose at home after they been beating us the past few times. Can't wait to hear your bets for Thursday night, brother. I got to step my game up, Hank. Need you to lead by example. Ron Lott said, Joe Anisi put us on a couple NBA winners this weekend on the live line. Joe Anisi's the truth, man. And Eric Nisbet, under 44 in tonight's NFL game. You know, God, I'd like to make that move on the under. It's just it goes against my initial feeling. That's the only problem. It goes against my initial feeling that was the over. Chad Sanders says, nah, stay away from Twitter, Jimmy. Too much BS, I get it. Rem Most, never apologize, my friend. I thought it was the right move. I mean, Samsonov played terrible, and then the Caps had their backs against the wall, and the Caps come out fighting. You know, I'm talking about maybe it's time to grab Panthers futures. I'm already on the Capitals plus 275 to win the division, hedging my Hurricane spot. But it's not going to be a nice payout because I also have the Devils, don't forget. So it's like a break-even sort of situation. But, man, the Capitals are a very good hockey team with Carlson playing out of his mind. All right, Dutch Boy Fresh. DJ Big Boss says, at the end, it's always me and Paco Healy standing. Respect. Melee Payless Way on the under 44. Tomina says, very hard to bet unders with bad quarterbacks. Turnovers can push the total either way. I agree. We're going to talk about that when we're Goop. So we're going to bring on Drew Martin right now. We got basketball we're going to talk about with Jay Money. We got the Monday Nighter that we are going to talk about with our... so we have a perfect setup. We got our guy Bigger Goo coming in for the Monday Nighter. We got Drew ready to talk college football. Johnny Algo says, what the hell happened to Jin Rummy's Twitter? He closed it. Yeah, Johnny, I don't know. I didn't even get to read the message. It was like a quick message, and then it was gone. I don't know. Maybe he comes back. Twitter can be a uncomfortable place, but I don't know. He's upset. He's upset. So I don't know. He was here briefly in our show this morning complaining that we hadn't talked about the Monday Nighter yet, and it was in our title. I don't make the titles of the show. I should, but I don't. But he was very upset. And whatever's going on with him, I wish him the best. All right, let's bring in our guy, Drew Martin in the house, coming straight out of Vegas, joining us on this Monday afternoon. Drew Martin, how you doing, my man?
Viva Las Vegas, Jimmy the Bag. I'm doing good, man. Happy Monday to you. Hopefully your weekend was good. The low baggers out there, welcome in, and always good to be here, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I came in the weekend doing great. A little 3-0 in NBA, 2-0 in MLB, hitting those unders there that we had talked about when everybody was going to the over, and then I did lose in CFL, but I got that back the next night with the Argos. But then Saturday, 7-8. It's funny. Our guy, the Raven Lowbagger, he gave me his small schools that he was looking at. He was going to hammer. He gave me 5 of them. I picked 2, and the other 3, of course, cash, and the 2 I pick lose. Very, very disappointing. So I ended up 7-8 in college football, which was okay, whatever, you know. And then I went into NFL, and the late games went poorly for me. Lost that over in the Raiders, Texans by a half point. Just needed that fumble that should have counted for the Buccaneers. I mean, I want to throw my computer when I think about it. How was your weekend?
It was good, man. More winners than losers, which is always a good thing. You know, sports bettors, anytime you're in the black, it's a good thing. But, not killing it by any means. So a lot of work to be done. And we got college basketball right around the corner. And we just had the sports solstice, Jimmy, just yesterday, I believe. All 4 major sports in America were playing all on the same day. I believe that was the first time this year, so that was kind of cool. And to think that college basketball is starting in a week, it's crazy. Great time to be a sports bettor. A lot of winners to be had. Just got to find the advantage over the odds makers.
And let's get to it right now. Thank you for Florida Atlantic, by the way. That was a winner gifted to me by you, and that was an easy casher. Let's get after it. By the way, are you making a move on the Monday Nighter tonight?
You know what's the stat? 18-6 NFL primetime games towards the under. That's 75% hit rate here. And I think there's something to that. In sports betting, the trend is your friend, or in investments. I tend to link those two things in life together a lot. So I'm going to ride this trend. I put a little bit of money on the under. I lean towards the Dolphins plus 14, but I am a Dolphins fan at heart, so I try to stay away from betting them sidewise. But I think there's something there to the under, so I took a little action on the under here in the low to mid 40s.
I can understand that. It's up to 44 right now, so I can understand trying to get under that. I'm still yet to make a move, but I'm just gonna hit the prop market this evening. Being hesitant to make too many moves in the prop market. I had a bad month last month, but hit a prop last time I was with these guys, and I'll go after the prop market. Vaughn Burgess on the Dolphins. Let's get into college football and hear our Drew Martin's first looks on this college card. Let me ask you about a game right off, a game that we all find quite interesting. Miami, Florida State. You know these two teams inside and out. You making a move there?
I haven't off the bat to answer your question, just yes or no. I mean, just the things I would throw out there is this is a heated rivalry. These two teams, these are their main rivals, so to speak. I would say even Florida State's main rival is Miami over the University of Florida, although you could make the argument both ways. But Jimmy, overall, I didn't bet it off the bat. I'm not looking to bet Miami at all, though. I'll tell you that much.
All right, well, let's take a look. I'll start throwing questions your way, but what are the moves and the looks that jumped off the card at you? Some exciting spots that I want to ask you about, but what are you looking at?
Yeah, right off the bat, some openers here. I didn't bet as many openers this week as I have in past weeks. To tell you the truth, I got to go back and rewatch some of the games, especially in Conference USA, like you just talked about, the FAUs, the FIUs of the world. But off the bat, the only weekday game I'm interested in is this over in the Navy-UConn game, seeing it at 56. I think UConn's defense is going to have a tough time stopping the Navy option, also on a short week. So keep that in mind. Plus the fact, if there is a plus for UConn, it's their offense has shown signs of coming to life. I think that their quarterback's actually pretty decent quarterback in terms of a dual threat guy. He can run around a little bit, create with his feet, and then throw the ball downfield, where if you're looking for the type of profile quarterback to bet on against Navy, I feel that is it, to kind of create for yourself. So I think UConn can punch it in a couple times, and Navy's going to get theirs. So I think this total here in the mid 50s, and I'm talking Friday night lights action here, Navy versus UConn in the AAC. That is the one weekday matchup I bet the over. I mean, Georgia Southern and App State on Thursday night. It's a game I have a lot of interest in. It's just there's a lot of kind of conflicting arguments, in my opinion, towards both of these two teams. One is App State is a short week to prepare for the Georgia Southern option, which I think favors Georgia Southern. But at the same time, Georgia Southern's on the road on a short week. Plus the fact these two are heated rivals in the Sun Belt Conference. And it even goes back a lot further, Jimmy, than just Division I football. These two teams made the step up from FCS to FBS, from the Southern Conference, I believe, to the Sun Belt. So these two teams know each other well. Georgia Southern knows Boone Carolina very well. So just too many arguments for both sides and kind of conflicted here. So I stayed off of that one on Thursday night.
Georgia Southern, Appalachian State, App State. What about this West Virginia Baylor spot? 17.5 points with Baylor at home. Is that too many?
It is, at least for me, off the start here. I mean, 17 in the hook now against West Virginia. Tough travel spot for West Virginia, but at the same time, I'm not looking to like huge numbers to West Virginia. I think, Troy Brown's group, as the season goes on, I think that they will be a better team. They're very well coached, in my opinion, his first year here. And by the way, the West Virginia head coach, Troy Brown, he was the coach for the Troy Trojans in the Sun Belt. And if you know anything about, which I know a lot of guys out there do, the low baggers, betting Sunbelt football, man. He built that Troy program into a juggernaut there in the Sunbelt. I would look for the same thing here in the Big 12. I have West Virginia as a circled on here, but Thursday night on the road, I didn't get there sidewise.
Yeah, two big favorite spots there on Thursday. And then, Connecticut's been playing better football and sitting at 27. I mean, you got to think Connecticut at home could cover the 27 against Navy. What is your first? I know that you're liking the over, but if you had a free play on the side, what would you do right now?
Yeah, I see where you're going with that, Jimmy, and I do agree with you. UConn is playing better football. They're not the worst team in FBS. I mean, they've proven that. They blew out UMass. They're probably not even a bottom three. Look, it's just the only problem with this is in the limited possessions, they're playing better football. You're catching near 4 touchdowns. I get that with the underdog at home, yes. But it's against the option. And Jimmy, as I know you know this in college football, if you can't stop the option on, say, the first or the second drive, it's not like you're going to figure it out in the middle of the third quarter. It's just going to snowball on you. And those are the times when, the military academies go for 50-plus points. And if Navy's putting up 55, 60 points, man, I'm not so sure that this Husky team can cover this 4 touchdowns. So that's what's keeping me off sidewise. But I'm with you, man. I think UConn, we've kind of found a bottom here in terms of the way they're being priced.
Yeah, I have cashed with them recently, and maybe that's just a bias that I have right now. All right, let's go into this big Saturday card and some of the big games that are jumping off the sheet at us. And there's a lot of rivalry games with Kansas State. There is Army, Air Force, 2 teams that you've broke down very, very well. And then there is Georgia, Florida, which is probably the most appealing spot on this whole card. Georgia opening up at -3.5, quickly going to -5.5. Do you agree with that market movement, Drew?
I don't at all. And actually, this is one I'd bet off the open, and I wish I would have waited. I am wrong sometimes off the open. This one I am. It's talking about the largest outdoor cocktail party. I know we're not supposed to call it that, but I like calling it that, Jimmy, so I'm going to continue calling it that. They're in Jacksonville. I think that the Florida Gators are underrated, man, in terms of Power 5 teams. In my opinion, they're one of, if not the most underrated team in the marketplace. The change at quarterback with Thrash throwing the ball down the field, he's more accurate than the quarterback prior to him. Plus the fact that they play good defense off of a bye week. They were banged up going into the bye. I'm pretty sure that all of their top defensive players will be in action. I think the bye week helps Florida more so than it does Georgia. Overall, no, man, I think Florida wins this game. I'm not going to go as far as saying, the wrong team is favored sitting here at 5 in the hook, but still, I like the Florida Gators. I bet them at 3.5. I added more at 5.5. So I'm going to be sweating out the Gators on Saturday, Jimmy.
Wow, I get it why you'd want to jump back in. Now sitting at 5.5. We have some looks here from our Chad Costanza, like in the under in Georgia, Florida. It's stuck at 47, although 47.5, a bookmaker has appeared. What do you think of that total first look? I see where he's going with the under. Primetime game there. Could be some nerves in a neutral site game. Don't necessarily disagree with it. I think Florida's defense, especially their front seven, is going to make life a little bit difficult there for the Bulldogs running the ball. And at the same time, on the other side, I don't necessarily think Florida's going to light it up offensively. I don't think they're going to take too many chances down the field. So, and plus the fact that pace of play for both teams isn't necessarily very high in the college football rankings in terms of the tempo that the offenses are going to play. Overall, I haven't bet the total, but if you made me bet it as of right now, I would probably be on the under. Your alma mater looked very good this past week. Very good. And now ranked 11th and 18.5 point favorites at home against Ole Miss with a total of 52.5 that has not moved. What do you think of Ole Miss Auburn come Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, you brought it up, Jimmy, in terms of they did look good. They surprised me. I actually lost, and I bet on LSU there. And talking about good profiles to bet on Auburn, this is one, because I think they're going to be able to run the ball against Ole Miss there. Hotty Toddy with their kind of dual quarterback system, 2 pretty good athletes at the quarterback position. I think that they'll be able to score a little bit, but heck, you got to keep keep in mind that you're going up against this Auburn defensive line, which, heck, proved it down there on the Bayou. They were getting after LSU. That's the best defense that I've seen play against that LSU offense. And in my opinion, I know I guess biased, you could say, going to school there, but I just bet against them. This is the best defense in college football, in my opinion, and definitely the best defensive line in all of college football. So Ole Miss is going to have a difficult time. I think they create turnovers. 18.5, always tough, but with Gus Malzahn calling running plays, and they are at home in Jordan-Hare. We've seen it time and time again. The offense performs better in Jordan-Hare, especially going against a talent drop here from LSU on the defensive side, talking about Ole Miss's defense. If you were going to bet on Auburn, this is a great profile to bet on them, and I would look to lay the 18 with the Tigers.
Looking to lay the 18. If their defense is going to be such a menace, you think this 52.5 might be too high a total?
Yeah, I do. I do think it's a little high. Auburn is a team that I do look to bet unders more than bet overs, that's for sure. But at the same time, if this offense is running and when you watch Gus Malzahn's offense in so many kind of sweep runs there, I think that's going to cause a lot of problems for Ole Miss. So if you're looking to lay the 18 with Auburn, as I am, I don't necessarily think that correlates with the under. If Auburn's able to run up this score, they might get to, 35, 40 points by themselves, go north of 40. Then obviously that brings in the question of 52.5 being too low. So I doubt I get involved at totals wise, but I do lean with the Auburn Tigers at home.
And then quickly, and I do also want to talk about all these boys heading your way for the Breeders' Cup this weekend, which I wish I was there with them. Our next guest included. Big shout out to Roger Gilden. Roger Gilden, brand new low bagger in the house. Love that, Roger. Let's talk about this SMU-Memphis game quickly. Memphis opening up at -3, now at 5.5. They're taking cash, Drew. Taking cash. What do you think of them in this spot?
Oh, I love Memphis here, man. This is the spot for Memphis. They're at home. I think you can make the argument it's the biggest game in Memphis football history. I believe College Game Day is going to be going there in the Liberty Bowl. Going to be a packed house. You got SMU ready to knock them off for their first loss, 70 being the total. And, we've talked about it before on the show here, Jimmy. Brady White as a quarterback is the type of quarterback you want to be taking when they can kind of run up the stats and run up the score. If he's not facing constant pressure, he is the type of quarterback that can light it up. Now, if he has a defensive line that's getting after him a little bit, hitting him up a little bit, something to watch in the first quarter if you're looking to bet this live. Brady White isn't the type of quarterback to kind of turn it around, have a bad first half and then a good second half. So if Memphis does get behind, I might look to kind of fade him, just knowing from watching his games a lot in the past. But I don't think SMU is going to be able to disrupt Memphis all that much offensively. So I think Memphis rolls here in the Liberty Bowl on Saturday night, man. This is going to be a great atmosphere in the AAC, in my opinion, the most underrated conference in college football. And Memphis, I think a lot lining up for the Tigers, -5.5 now. I agree with this move from -3 at the opener up 2.5 points towards Memphis.
And you would still buy at 5.5?
I like it. Yeah, a little dead number here in college football. I would. I mean, I'm not looking for SMU in the points unless it gets north of 7, which I doubt it does. So, yeah, I would be on Memphis -5 in the hook.
Do you think when they all come out, because they're not fully out yet, they are at some books, do you think maybe with game day being at Memphis on Saturday that we should take Memphis first half?
Possibly. That might be worth a look. I mean, that place is going to be electric. This is the biggest football game they've ever had there. And that's a pretty cool stadium, especially when it's packed out. Like for the Ole Miss game, Ole Miss and Memphis are only like 40 minutes away from each other. And, anytime those two play in the Liberty Bowl, it's always packed out, great atmosphere. So I would look for that type of atmosphere again. And sure, I don't want the Mustangs in the first half. I know that. I don't want the Mustangs really at all. I want Memphis, and I think you're onto something there in the first half.
It's 3.5. I was kind of hoping to see a 3. UCF at home getting 23 points, open at 21.5 against Houston. Does Houston stepped up in a surprising fashion and covered against SMU? Does UCF smash them here?
This is a tough one for me. I rode UCF for a long, long time, and about 3 weeks ago, after that loss against Cincinnati, I stopped betting them blindly. And I'll tell you this about Houston. One thing I learned, Jimmy, is this team hasn't quit. Say what you want about the Cougars, they have not quit. They have redshirting guys, all of that, and I worried about them quitting, but they definitely haven't. They've pushed their opponents here. Their defense is still playing. So UCF, in the bounce house at home. The only problem is they got the freshman quarterback, and sometimes when he gets rattled, like we've seen in their losses, he's not the same type of quarterback. I'm not looking to step in front of the UCF train. Obviously made a lot of money the last couple years here, but Houston at the same time hasn't quit on the season, so I'm not looking to lay more than 3 touchdowns to them. I'm going to be watching on the sidelines.
Your over with Massachusetts last week was too easy, and I didn't tail it, sadly. What a ridiculous move not to do. Now they're at home against Liberty. Do we go back to the well? The total's at 68.5.
Yeah, it's nice when tickets cash like that. Absolutely. I mean, if you're betting unders in UMass or Liberty games, especially when these two teams are playing each other, Liberty is going to move the ball at will. So I would look for team totals with the Flames over. And at the same time, UMass, if they do have a plus, it's Walt Bell as their offensive coordinator. They'll be able to move the ball against Liberty a little bit, in my opinion. I would look towards the over, and also I would look towards Liberty here. Liberty is the type of program that, I don't want Liberty punching up in class, against a Power 5 team. I think they don't match up that well. But Liberty against teams that they can dominate, Hugh Freeze's offense, being able to kind of put the pedal to the metal, that's the type of profile I want Liberty in, and that's the type of game they're going to be in here. So weather dependent, I like a lot of points, and I like the Flames.
I like it too. We don't have a Ragu ready to go, so I'm going to keep firing questions at you if you don't mind, my friend. Let's talk Army Air Force. Air Force opening up at 15.5, now getting 14.5 with a total of 45. You know these two teams very well. What do you think of this spot, Army Air Force?
Yeah, what's up with Army? Army's offense isn't kind of rolling on all cylinders here, and going up against Air Force, that is. I had this game going into the openers as circled only betting on Air Force. The problem is that it's over 2 touchdowns, and we're talking 2 military academies going at it. We've seen a lot of times when they play each other, for whatever reason, the underdog steps up. So that's what scared me here, Jimmy. It's not really a numbers thing. It's not really a situational thing, other than it's 2 military academies playing each other, and I don't want to lay more than 2 touchdowns. So that's what's keeping me off of it. I wish I could give you more numbers-based opinion on this game. I just don't have it. That's the reason I'm not betting it so far. Oh,
I love getting your early looks and your early feels here. I love it a lot. Okay, let's keep rolling down the card, this giant card that we have in front of us. There was a lot of question whether UAB is the team that we should start fading. And now Tennessee, 10.5 points at home. Is UAB's time up? Should we fade them this week?
Heck, if you've been fading the Blazers, you've been losing a lot of money. And supposedly there was a lot of quote-unquote sharps before the season that looked to fade UAB, and they've lost a whole lot of money. 46.5, seeing -11 here, Tennessee. I'm not a big fan, Jimmy, of the type of profile of Conference USA teams stepping up in class against an SEC team. I just think the disparity in talent makes it very difficult to kind of project the final outcome of games. And the reason I come to this is because, I've been doing this for a half a decade without a straight job. And I'm looking back at my results. Whenever that kind of situation happens, where big discrepancy in talent, SEC versus Conference USA, I'm below 50%. So I've kind of stayed away from this type of profile, UAB versus Tennessee, so to speak, just because talent-wise, there's nobody on UAB's roster that got a scholarship offer from the University of Tennessee, or else they would have went to Tennessee. So Tennessee has better players. It's just a matter of, can UAB stay within a 10.5 or 11? That's a tough handicap for me. If you made me bet it, I would lay it here with the Vols, but I don't have to bet it, so I didn't bet it, man.
Fresno State looked terrible against Colorado State, and shout out to our DJ Big Boss, who's all over Colorado State at plus 14.5, just been eating off Colorado State. Does Fresno State bounce back in Hawaii this weekend?
I don't like to bet against the Rainbow Warriors on the island, man, especially in the degenerate of all degenerate specials. Hawaii at home, midnight Eastern kickoff. I love this slate, man. I love watching Hawaii at home. 69.5 the total. No, for me, it's the Warriors or pass. We've seen this offense perform well. This is a good team, one of the better teams in the Mountain West. Not to take anything away from Fresno State, but the travel, plus the fact that I don't think they're necessarily the more talented team. I think it's a pretty even matchup overall. So I'll take a tough place to play out in Hawaii. I'll lay it here with the short number, under a field goal here with the Rainbow Warriors.
Interesting look. I can't wait to have you back tomorrow to see what you've gone forward with and hammered. Thank you for sticking with us a little longer. We did not have Raghu ready, but Jay Money coming in to talk NBA right now. Drew, the low baggers are coming in. The low baggers are coming in right now to Vegas this weekend, and I hope you will be partying with them heavy. And I will send you my looks for Championship Saturday for sure, and maybe some on Friday, so get that cash with the thoroughbreds. Drew, thank you so much for joining us. Follow this man, Drew Martin Bets, on Twitter. Drew, thank you so much for joining us, and can't wait to see you again tomorrow.
Yeah, Jimmy, and hopefully you can make a last-minute trip up here to Vegas, man. Always good to hang out with the low baggers. And, guys, yeah, can't wait to see you this weekend. Shout out to Paco in the chat box, Molly Mal as well. And tell Jay Money is funny. I said, what's up, man?
I will for sure. There he is, Drew Martin in the house. And we go from Drew Martin right to Jay Money is Money, star of Jammin' with Jay Money here on this network Monday through Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Ready to rock and roll on this giant NBA card right now. Jay Money, thank you so much for joining us. How you doing, my man?
What's up, man? I'm doing all right. Hey, going through a bunch of traffic, but hey, I finally made it. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to talk some NBA.
Let's do it. Let's do it. And thank you for joining us. And by the way, I'm loving your show. I'm loving your show. Chad Costanza says, who's coming to Vegas, Jimmy? I'll get a full list, but it's going to be packed. It's going to be packed with the boys. The regulars, Paco Healy, Big Boss, Raghu, Dom Ricci, Prince of the City, amongst others. Let's get to work right now, and let's start with the Pacers-Pistons here. Teddy Covers back in the Pacers here, but I look at this lineup for the Pacers, and they are 30th last in the league rebounding. Miles Turner is not playing big at all. You have Edmund Sumner at the shooting guard spot. Brogdon's gone 26-10, but they can't buy themselves a win. Yes, I get they're angry. They're an angry basketball team, but that's not enough for me to back them. It's not enough for me to back them. Reggie Jackson out, so we know he'll be out of the lineup. Are you making a move here in Pacers-Pistons?
No, I'm not making a move. I'm with you that the revenge game isn't enough for me to get on them. They haven't looked good right now, but I can't tell you that loss coming off the Cavs, they're pretty pissed about that. I'm pretty sure they're going to come out hot tonight. You know what I'm saying? So they pretty much can't lose this game and go down 0-3. We know that the Pistons just beat them the other day in their season opener. So we know the revenge game, Jay, man, is one not to be messed with. So it's either Pacers or nothing here for me, even though I know that Andre Drummond, you know what I'm saying, this is a pretty good matchup for him. We know that Turner, he can be good. He hasn't been, but we know that he has the potential. He led the league in blocks last year. They still got Sabonis. They were going to be missing Lamb tonight, but the Pistons don't have Reggie Jackson. So lean to the Pacers here, but I didn't get involved with the game. I definitely lean to the under as well.
Yeah, under has gone from 213.5 to 212.5. I guess you're right. I would lean towards this under. Let me just take another look. We don't have enough stats really to bang out, but 104.5 points per game for the Pacers. They're allowing 114.5. Pistons 110, allowing 114.5. This is going to be a stay-off game. We have a question that's come in from Rich G, and we'll move over to that game right now. Rich G wondering if it's ever safe to back Cleveland. And here you're getting 15.5 points against the Bucks. Let me go to that game right now. Cavaliers at Bucks. So first off, the Bucks angry after losing to the Heat. Cavaliers feeling good enough about themselves after beating the Pacers that we just talked about. Now, when I look at this spot with these two teams, I think you either back Milwaukee first half, but even that's at 9.5, or you take the over, and I'm not going to do that with the way Cleveland's going to want to slow the game down. to a crawl. I mean, I could see the Bucks still putting up their 125, but what if the Cavs don't get you a hundo? So at this point, I'm off. Are you making a move in Cavs Bucks?
No, I'm not making a move on this game. It's way too many points for me personally to lay, but I can't say that it's a Buck spot. I mean, this isn't the Cavs that coming off a win. They're not a good team this year. Don't be fooled. You know what I'm saying? They don't have anyone to guard Giannis out there. The Bucks offense didn't look too good the last game, but I mean they still came out hot. In the first half. I I'm thinking that they do come out hot in the first half again, even though 9.5 is high. I know this. I know they're going to come out pissed. I mean, in the first quarter and first half, I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? If they can cover those, the first quarter is sitting at like -5, -5.5. I mean, that's high. That's really high. But we know that the Bucks can cover it. I'm not on this game. I mean, I don't want to lay to the high numbers right now because, like I say, the Bucks, they don't just their offense doesn't look good. But I don't think that the Cavs will stop them. I mean, I don't think they'll be in their way. Like I say, they have no one to stop Giannis out there. I mean, nothing is stopping the Bucks from just absolutely killing the Cavs here. It's too many points, but I would lean to the Bucks in all quarters, and I would lean towards the under and the Cavs team total under. But I don't have a play in this game.
Ronnie Christie saying he's heavy on fading teams on the second half of a back-to-back, especially on the road and second half of a back-to-back. And let's take a look at a couple teams in that situation here. Actually, the first two teams he wants to talk about are a little different with it. So, but we're talking about some of these teams second half of a back-to-back, and I'm doing that with San Antonio. I'm backing San Antonio. I got them at 5.5, and I'm confident that they will take over in the fourth quarter after that tough game Portland just went through against the Mavericks. What do you think of backing the Spurs here, and are you making a move on the total?
That's not a bad spot. The Blazers surprised me over there. They went and came from behind and beat the Mavs yesterday, so I'm sure they took a lot of energy out of them. It's not too far of travel, you know what I'm saying, them going down there to the Spurs, but we know they're missing Collins tonight as well. That's not going to help them, so that's why you see that line moving up to Spurs -6. Spurs haven't really looked good this year, to be honest with you. I don't have a play on this guy. I don't have a feel for the Spurs yet. They're a good home team, but even at home, they hadn't really looked well. I mean, I expected them to blow the Wizards out the other night, and they did not do that. They let the Wizards hang around all game and damn near win that game late in the fourth quarter. That scared me there. So it's technically a Spurs spot. I wouldn't be one to back the Blazers here plus the points, but I guess the Spurs are nothing for me. But I'm not betting it. It is a bad spot for the Blazers, though, especially not having Collins.
Without Collins, they're going to get hurt down low. And then the way I see this with the Blazers and the Spurs, we're getting 5.5 and not 7.5 because of how bad the Spurs looked against those Wizards. So that's a look I'm on. Okay, let's keep rolling down the list and go more in order here. Bulls, Knicks. I understand the move from the Knicks at -1 over to the Bulls Bulls now -1.5 or -2, -2.5 at Heritage. But I don't want this Bulls team as a road favorite under any circumstances. And my only look would be towards the Knicks, and I'm not going to do that either. Although, if the market move hadn't moved towards the Bulls, I probably would have pulled the trigger on the Knicks. What do you think about this Bulls-Knicks spot?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about the market move. I mean, if I had to make a play on this game, it would be Knicks early. I like the Knicks early. I think that they could possibly win this game. I'm not a fan of the Bulls as a favorite on the road. I mean, they couldn't beat the Hornets on the road. So, I mean, they told me a lot there. They barely beat the Grizzlies. They were losing their game until the fourth quarter comeback, you know what I'm saying, against the Grizzlies. So I'm not a fan of them on the road so far. We know they lost their game at the house as well to the Raptors. I'm just not a fan. I'm not a real big fan of this Bull team right now. You look at the matchups; it's pretty even team. The Knicks actually have more veterans than the Bulls do. I mean, this is a team filled with young guys out here. So I actually think give the Knicks the upper hand, man. I couldn't bring myself to bet it, but if I had to, I would take the Knicks the first half. I mean, even the first quarter, I think is a good look in the Knicks, man. I don't really like forcing a lot of plays, but like I said, if I was forced to make a play, I like the Knicks in the first quarter and the first half. I think they come out hot. They came out hot versus the Celtics, came out with desperation, having to win their game. I mean, fourth quarter, they start to, you know what I'm saying, wear on them. The Celtics started wearing on them. I think they can beat the Bulls, man. I think they have to win this game. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They made some little moves over there in the offseason, not big-name moves, but they made moves. It's a home game. You don't want to go 0-2 at the house, 0-4 to start the season. The Bulls the type of team that this Knicks can beat, man. I wouldn't be scared of the market move.
It's hard for me not to be, but it's just because I don't have the confidence like you guys to go against them in NBA. Stack WAP like in the under in this spot. We've seen this total go from 224 just to 224.5. Not a lot of movement. What do you think of the total in Bulls Knicks?
Man, the Bulls play really fast, and the Knicks, they've been playing pretty scrappy here. And I can't say the Knicks offense isn't really just clicking. So, I mean, they're not going to have Smith out there tonight. They're going to have probably, you know what I'm saying, the crowd been chanting for Frank. So he's probably going to be out there tonight. That's good for defense and not really good for offense. But it'll be interesting to see. I'm pretty sure that's going to bring some energy to the team. Like I say, having DSJ out there is pretty much being bad for them. So, I mean, like I say, they get a few boosts here tonight. You see the market moving to the over in this one. I don't have a play on the total, to be honest with you. No really feel on it, but like I say, I would be looking towards the Knicks. I think this is a game they can win. And like I say, you shut down Levine or you really just contain Levine, and the Bulls be a totally different team. So I'm pretty sure they'll have Frank out there on Levine. We'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure I'll be watching this game, but I'm pretty sure that the Knicks come out with desperation in this game.
Let's move on to a very interesting game. I watched you guys on your show, and you're backing the Magic. So is Teddy Covers. A lot of people backing the Magic here. I am not one of them. I know it's the third game in 4 nights for the Raptors, but this team has a ton to prove. This isn't an NBA champion coming back and taking it easy early in the year. That was a tough playoff series against the Magic. Now there's no Kawhi. I know the Magic are shooting terribly. They're going to turn it around at some point. But if you're going to give me the Raptors at home under 5 points, I'm just going to take them. I don't see them letting go. And I am backing the Raptors here. And I got -4 on the show. It went up to 5 and 5.5 at Bet365. And then I saw money coming back in on the Magic, and I was waiting. I was like, oh my God, could I have 4.5? Could I bet it at 4? And then I decided to just pull the trigger at 5. I could have had him at 4.5 at one point, but I pulled the trigger at 5. Do you think I'm making a mistake backing the Raptors here?
Well, I don't think you're making a mistake. I mean, nothing is guaranteed. That's what you feel on it. I mean, if you feel a certain type of way against the Raptors, and you know what I'm saying, at certain plays like this that you're going to make. I have to take the Magic here plus the points. I mean, even at 4.5 or the 5, I just like getting. I love getting points in this spot, especially a revenge game from a playoff revenge. You know what I'm saying? The Magic, they're coming off a bad loss to the Hawks. Their defense has been outstanding so far. It's just they hadn't really been knocking down shots. But I mean, even in the Cleveland game, they were blowing them out. Then Cleveland started coming back, and then the Magic put their foot on them, on their neck once again. So, and we just saw the Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? What they just did the last game. So I like the Magic in this game. Playoff revenge. These teams think about it all summer, man. People can downgrade that all they want. It's a real thing. Like I say, they lost 4-1 in that series. The first game they won over there in Toronto. You know what I'm saying? Stunned a lot of people. Then they lost last 4 games. It seemed like that but right now the Magic match up very well with the Raptors. I'm telling you, especially without Kawhi out there. They know he's not out there. Like, you know what? Hey, this is our turn to get up on you boys. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see for the Magic money line cash in this spot. I think their bigs match up very well with the Raptors.
I'm comfortable. I know, Isaac, Gordon, Vucevic, 3, 4, 5 is dangerous, but our 5s with Gasol, I just find their intelligence rises to the occasion. When we go Gasol, Ibaka at the 5, Anunoby coming off 4 blocks, 17 points. I feel like the Raptors at home under 5 points, I'm going to take them. Teddy said the same thing about the Magic. Look, there's a lot of sharps on the Magic. I will be surprised if the Magic win this game. And I do not think Toronto, with our defense on the perimeter, is the spot where you turn your shooting around. So I'm the only one, it feels like. Even my guy Rahan hedged and jumped out and grabbed the Magic. I don't. Oh, there, Canascat and Tom Marino are with me, but feels like most people are on the other side. Let's move over to Sixers-Hawks. Sixers-Hawks. This game here opens with Sixers -4, now 5.5, a 6 at Bovada. Trae Young just rolling, but do the Sixers have the kind of defense to slow down Trae and lead the Sixers to a win on the road, Jay?
I can't say I don't have a look on this game whatsoever. I mean, I would lean towards the 76ers here. I'm sure everyone is. The 76ers are a very public team. We saw some teams can struggle over there in Atlanta, even ones that play really good defense. You have to have a better offense. You have to outshoot the Hawks. And so sometimes that's a little tricky. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Hawks spot can be really tricky. They're based on shooting. If they're knocking their shots, they can really beat anybody, especially over there at the house. But if they're not hitting them, then they can get easily blown out. The 76ers much better defensive team. They're a much bigger team. We're going to see if Embiid's going to play. He's looking like he probably is game time decision. You see that line moving up 5.5. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see the 76ers run away with it. I'm always a fan of defense over offense, but I don't have a look on this game whatsoever.
Warriors, Pelicans, a lot of late money coming in on the Warriors. And when it got to 5, I was like, man, God, I want to take the Warriors. Now it's back to 4 or 3.5. And I'm not going to take them. They've looked terrible, but they were so embarrassed at Oklahoma City. They've got to come back firing. The Pelicans have played excellent basketball early in the year without Zion and without Drew against the Rockets. You making a move, Warriors, Pelicans?
Yeah, you said one thing right there. The Warriors have to come back after that. I can't take them here. I need to see, you know what I'm saying, if they have any fight left in them. I mean, you see Draymond is coming out there and saying, hey, we suck right now, which he's right, but it's all on them, man. I mean, they're playing a team tonight that doesn't really like to play defense. They're not playing defense. It's a clash of titans here, no defense. I mean, I don't see how the over doesn't hit. I can't take it. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We need to see if Drew's going to play, Drew Holiday's going to play. We're going to see if the Warriors have fight tonight. If they lose this game, I mean, damn, man, it's going to be bad. Already it's going to be bad. You know what I'm saying? Because that absolutely shows me that they have no fight here. But I think that this is a game that the Warriors can win. It takes really stout defense to, you know what I'm saying, disrupt Curry out there. So we're going to see if Drew Holiday is out there or if someone else. Because I'm not sure if Lonzo Ball is the player that can, you know what I'm saying, go out there and lock up Steph Curry. With D'Angelo Russell, he was very frustrated last night. He got thrown out the game early, so we know he's going to come back playing tonight. Like I say, we're going to see. You never underestimate the heart of a champion. So we're going to see if the Warriors, you know what I'm saying, like this, Curry and Russell and Green collectively, they can carry them in a game like this. Not against a lot of teams, but against this Pelicans team, they can.
Let's talk about this Thunder spot. Westbrook playing against his old team. When I looked at this at 10.5, I was like, give me the Thunder. And then I decided to stay off. I watched your guys' show as well and could understand some of the points that Junior Brown was making. Junior talking about why would he wants to see the Rockets do it first because the Rockets have not looked good early in this year and Harden shooting ice cold. But is this a spot where they get their shit together? Are you going to back the Rockets as 10-point favorites?
Yeah, I'm gonna back the Rockets here, and like I said on the show, I'm glad some people are buying it down to 9.5. You can get 9.5 at some books. People can take the Thunder here all they want. They don't look as good as they are not as good as they looked yesterday, and I mean they're not as bad as they look versus the Wizards. But that Wizards game really showed me something, man. If they get down, it's really tough for them to come back versus a team. We know they hopped out real fast versus the Warriors. That was never a game. It was 70-35 at some point. The Thunder did not have a good offense. They're pretty much last in the league, or 26th in the league at fast break points. Their offensive efficiency is 23rd in the league. They're pretty much bottom of the league in all the offensive categories. It's an early start, but I mean, we know that this isn't a great offensive team. They like to try to slow it down, do it with defense. We know that Westbrook has added motivation in this game. Harden, you know what I'm saying, went 2 for 16 from or 2 for 18 from 3 last game. He's gonna be looking to get it back going. I mean, when this team does get it going, and this is probably a game where they're gonna look like they're firing on all cylinders. They have like a 30-point win, and then everybody's talking to media. Oh, maybe the Rockets are fixed it. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is that type of bust out game for their offense. It's versus a good team to do that on a back-to-back off of a really good win. It's tough to get up, you know what I'm saying, like they got up against the Warriors. Just say it's tough to get up like that in back-to-back games, you know what I'm saying, and on the road. The Rockets, they're gonna come out for blood in this fight, man. Like I say, last time OKC played in this arena, they came back from like 20+ points, and Paul George had 45 points. Russell Westbrook had triple-double. Neither one of those players on the team anymore. I think the Rockets are gonna smash tonight.
I'm going to watch. But it's going to keep me off. I did back the Nuggets. 5.5 points. It's now 5 if you want them. I did get 5.5 and plus 101, but it's now 5 if you want them against the Kings. The Kings look terrible. Bagley out is a huge loss. Who's going to slow down Jokic? The answer is nobody. Nobody on Sacramento is going to slow down Jokic. I mean, I do like Dedmon. So don't get me wrong. I do like Dedmon, but Jokic is a special player, and you need to use 2 different players to slow him down and keep him out on the perimeter and then defend him on the perimeter because he can hit those threes. Nuggets were embarrassed against the Suns. They looked bad all game long. We're lucky to win that game. I think they come out here firing and smash these Kings. I took them minus 5.5. What do you think about Nuggets Kings?
Well, I can tell you it's probably the most public play of the day. I mean, it's not a bad look. I'm not on the Nuggets here. I don't like the way that they were playing against the Suns, even at the house, even the way that the Suns have looked good. We know that the Nuggets are a better team than that. The Kings look terrible right now. I wouldn't be looking to take the Kings here, but that's the reason nobody is looking to take the Kings here. That's the thing that's scary. I bet you that the sportsbooks have very little bets on the Kings tonight. I bet you. Their coaching has looked absolutely terrible. Sometimes the players can, outweigh the coaching, very little times, but I'm not a fan of Luke Walton whatsoever. I mean, even if the Kings if you like the Kings, maybe play them early. I mean, they're going to be coming out they play fast, with fast starts. They don't want to come out 0-3 here, but I mean, after halftime, they just end up getting torched, man. It's absolutely terrible coaching. It's like the other coach at halftime will make an adjustment, and Luke Walton doesn't, just letting the guys sit around and talk and drink beers and stuff at halftime. And he's probably drinking beers too, man, and they come back out there and, hey, let's try to win the game. So we'll see, but I'm not a fan of this Kings team right now whatsoever. I like the players, but the coaching is terrible right now.
Move over to Jazz Suns. Suns playing great basketball without Ayton and without Rubio last game. Do you know if Rubio is going to be back? And do you think the Suns have value as 5-point dogs at home?
Yeah, Rubio is going to be back. I mean, the way they've been playing, I guess technically they have value, but I don't like the spots for the Suns coming off their huge game. I mean, versus the Clippers over there, they know that that was a real huge game. I mean, tough, intensive game. It was tied at halftime. Then they jumped out the lead. The Clippers keep trying to come back. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Beverly fouled out. It was a rocking night over there in Phoenix. Like I say, it's a tough spot for them to get up again. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But the Jazz they're better. Their defense is getting better. I'm not taking the Jazz in this game. I do lean the Jazz. I don't think that the Suns have another one in them. I feel like either they have to win this game. I don't think it'll be a close one. It's either the Jazz pull away or either the Suns will win straight up. And I just don't think that the Suns will win this one back to back. In this type of games, they're going to miss Aiden. I love the under in this spot. Earlier, I got it at 215.5. It's all the way down to 213 now. I know Jordan Sharp mentioned on my show he likes the first half under. So the first half under was like 103. So it seems like Books, that's a really sharp play as well. But I like the under in this Jazz Suns spot. The Suns defense is very underrated.
Rayhan Hyder saying, hell yes, Jimmy, hop on the Suns. They will get it done tonight. Throw some coffee money on the Suns money line. Glenn Elliott, man, also on this Jazz Suns under. It's all the way down to 212.5 at some spots. Tom Marino saying Conley's looked horrible. I think the value is with Phoenix. And then we have the final spot on the card, Hornets Clippers. And this was a spot that I still may make a move. I just feel like the Clippers step up when they need to and let things blow past them. And I just wish they were coming off a win. But Hornets plus 15.5. Do the Clippers care enough? Because these Hornets do care. These Hornets are young and hungry and do care. And in the midst of this 4-game West Coast road trip, they are going to play the Kings on Wednesday and finish off with the Warriors on Saturday. You know, I feel like this is a spot, even though the Hornets are on the second half of a back-to-back where they could possibly take the 15.5. DJ 100 Grand says take the Clippers. Do the Hornets at plus 15.5 have any value?
No, me personally, I don't think so. I watched this Hornets team. I know they're bad. I can't tell you. These are not the type of games that I bet in the NBA. I lean to the Clippers here. It's the Clippers spot. They're coming off a loss. Like you say, maybe if the Clippers coming off a win or something, and they were fat and happy or something, but that's not the case. They're coming off of pretty much like a bad loss. They were favored by double digits in that spot and end up losing by damn near double digits. I see them being pissed off here. I can see the Clippers coming in here and absolutely blowing the Hornets out. but they could come in and not really take the Hornets serious and just go through the motions. So that's the reason why these type of games in the NBA, especially this early in the season, are a total stay away. The Clippers are obviously the much better team. If people lose money all day, they obviously gonna go hop on the Clippers at night. But like I say, they're favored by 15.5 for a reason. You saw what the Lakers did to them last night. Why can't the Clippers go and pull them out by 20 points as well? The Lakers were toying with them as well and then pulled away in the fourth quarter and covered this spread. So if the Clippers do come to play here, this one could be over early. I had to stay away from it.
Last time Jay was on our show, I went 3-0. That was on Friday. I added 2 plays with him. I have not added any plays. But I'm on 3 looks. I'm on the Raptors at -4, at -105. And then I'm on the Spurs and the Nuggets. I got the Spurs 5.5 -105. You can do better now. And I got you can't do better now. It's 6 there, but here you can do better. I got the Nuggets -5.5 at +101. And Mally Mal is taking the Hornets plus the points. Could you review the looks that you are moving forward on J Money? And do follow our guy, J Money is Money on Twitter. Follow him there and watch his show, 1 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Saturday with Junior Brown and Jordan Sharp. It's an excellent show. I absolutely love it, and we'll be watching every day. J Money, can you review your looks for us?
Yes, sir. My official looks are the Magic plus the 5. I got the under at Jazz and Suns at under 215.5. I still like it at 213. I still like the under in that game. And then I'm on the Rockets tonight, man. I think it's going to be early and often. The Rockets will come out here in the first quarter and send a message to the OKC. So we'll see. But I like the Rockets in a trifecta tonight, man. The first quarter, first half, and the full game. I think they're going to send a message to OKC. And OKC is in a bad spot tonight.
I love it. There he is, J Money. Thank you for going out of your way to join us today, my friend. And can't wait to work with you again this week.
No problem, man. Y'all know what's up. Y'all watch the show, Jamming with J Money, Monday through Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 o'clock Pacific, man. And y'all follow me on Twitter, at J Money is Money.
We go from J Money is Money to the Big Ragu. The Big Ragu in the house, the sauce from the boss and the sauce. Big Ragu, Monday evening. How you doing, my man?
Doing fantastic, my guy.
What
a pleasure it is to run with J Money, isn't it? What a guy that guy is, man. I can't wait to make money with him this season. Awesome, dude.
Yeah, we have a great group here, man. An absolute great group, and he's a big part of it. Ragu, you are also a big part of it, and I do want to talk about your big weekend in Vegas. But first, we have a Monday nighter that I still haven't made a move on and want to, but just feel hesitant. Are you making a move in Dolphins-Steelers?
Somebody needs to call the NFL up and tell them to put some decent teams on Monday and Thursday and Sunday night, because they keep dumping shit teams on every primetime game. But to answer your question for tonight, I think I'm going to probably look at some derivatives and hang out with you guys on the Keg Show tonight just to bet some live action. But first look here, I'm thinking I know there's been some money coming in on the Dolphins, and I know there's some leans towards the totals, some money coming in on the totals. But I would have to look at possibly taking hold my nose and taking the Dolphins plus the points here. Just on a lean, but not on the side. Just a lean right now.
I get it. Let's talk about some derivatives. Do you feel, okay, if Minka, who is the most dangerous Fitzpatrick in the game, if Minka goes off and plays spectacularly well, is there because what do you think about Fitzmagic pass attempts at 33.5? How do you think the Fish handle their offense tonight?
They're going to go one way with Fitzpatrick. They're going to try to have him light up the scoreboard, and he's either going to go one or two ways with him. He's either going to stink up the field like Jameis does when he goes bad. Fitzmagic can throw like 2 or 3 interceptions very easily, or he can light up the scoreboard for 250 yards plus. But my lean would be Fitzmagic under the total and yardage. I think Pittsburgh could kind of keep in check in that regard.
Okay, well then let's move over to a different look. Let's talk about how the Steelers are going to handle their business. You have to think that Schuster has a big game. Is he the person you'd be looking at if you were making prop bets?
Absolutely. That's the other one I like. I like over the receptions for for Schuster, for Juju. Over, I think whatever the number is, I think it's 3.5, 4. What, I think that's the number. That's easy in my book.
But I mean, it's funny because earlier today they were talking about how you could get J.J. Smith-Schuster at 67.5 pass yards, receiving yards. Now it's down to 58.5. Why would it be going down?
I have no idea. I mean, I would think they would have to lean on him to produce some type of downfield threat, unless they're going to beef up their running game here and they're just going to play a little control, But I don't see that happening. I see him putting a lot of tight ends sets in here, and then maybe some one-on-one matchups with him to kind of break him down the field. You might get one play for 60-something yards out of him.
Then why would it possibly be this low? It doesn't. You've been in this game a long time. How could it possibly be 58.5 yards?
I really don't know. That's the $64,000 question. I mean, on paper, it looks like a no-brainer because I think the Dolphins are going to mail this season in to try to position their possession up for a top pick. They're trading players left and right. The teams, they're maybe they get to the number with the cover, but I don't see no way in the world that they can slow this team down as far as yardage up on the board. Whether Pittsburgh converts it to points, that's a whole nother story. Well, I think they're still going to get their yardage in, so that's why I'm leaning towards the derivatives. With the under with Fitzpatrick, maybe over with Schuster on yards and pass receptions.
Von Polo says it's because of Mason Rudolph, that he's not good throwing the ball. Stephen Chamberlain says James Conner props over, not Juju. And then Big Boss, actually G-Saw saying, Jimmy, I like Steelers first quarter minus 3.5, half 7.5. Steelers will come out with energy behind the crowd and then all rushing second half. Then Miami lets Fitzpatrick lose. Possible backdoor. Viper and B on the under. And Big Boss says dead under. If I gave you a free move on the total at 44, would you be going under?
Yeah, I would lean under here for sure. Definitely. I just think, like I said, I think there's going to be a lot of ball movement up and down the field. Whether it converts to points, that remains to be seen. But I think Pittsburgh's going to have their looks on good stats, good stat line for them. Whether it equates to points on the board, to push the game over, I don't know. They're probably going to have to score most of the points themselves. So if they get out of there with like a 23 to 10 win, then they're on the under. But at the same time, I don't see the Dolphins scoring a whole lot of points either. So it's going to be on Pittsburgh. And if there's concerns about the quarterback play, then obviously that's going to be a lean to the under both ways.
Chris F says, bro, Pitt quarterback got knocked the F out. No way he's winning by 14 or throwing TDs. Do you think he's going to be hearing footsteps first back after getting smashed?
It's one of those things where if his offensive line holds up against the D, I know he's prone to make mistakes and he's a young quarterback, but the Connor thing might be a good look too. Maybe that's why that makes a little bit of sense. Maybe they're trying to take the ball out of his hands in regard to making the big plays, but at the same time, they're going to have to stretch the field if they're going to want to try to score points. So I think they're probably going to limit his access, maybe throwing a deep pass, but maybe if they can run the ball, maybe that's why the total so low on Schuster, 3.5, 4 receptions.
That's got to be it. Mason's got to be involved with that total down to 58.5. Farsha saw me liking Dolphins and the over. Polo, that's his interception and field position. The line is low. Try Sawyer with the two-leg parlay, Steelers money line, and the under at plus 120. Glenn Elliott Man saying the Dolphins are a terrible football team. Prince of the City says they may open it up to see how he does against a bad team. Eddie Opasoan said Dolphins will load the box, but the Steelers got to let Rudolph throw. And the weather is nice in Pittsburgh. Nice. 65. Gets down to 60 by 9, but 65 Fahrenheit, no wind, no precipitation. And Christopher Comentini says Miami won't reach 10 points. Willie Balter says, crazy number on Juju receiving yards with Rashad Jones out. Xavier Howard questionable for the Dolphins secondary. It's fishy, man. 58.5. is fishy. Okay, Ragu, let's we don't have a ton of time, but let's get into college football, NCAA football. Man, you're going to have such a wild weekend ahead of you in Vegas. I hope that you'll be making tons of videos and tons of spots with all the low baggers that are going to be out there, man. So jealous I can't be there with you. But let's talk college football, and I know you're going to be hammering that as well as the Breeders' Cup. What are your early looks? Is there anything jumping out at you on this college football card?
It's a real sleepy card this week. There's not too many marquee games. The one big game we all know is Florida, Georgia. But outside of that, there's not a whole lot going on in games. So we're going to have to really peel this card apart. And I'm not usually one to get on these big marquee games to try to make big money anyways. It's always the little team, there's games that are kind of off the radar. But there's actually a game tomorrow night or Thursday night, Georgia Southern, App State. Now, App State, they've been a pretty good team, money team, for putting big points on the board, playing solid defense. I'm not a big fan of Thursday night games, but that's one I'm looking at. My early numbers show that App State should be probably about a 20 point favorite in this game. Right now, I think the line's sitting at about 16.5. So that's a look there. And another look is a team that I usually favor a lot at UCF. They're playing the Cougars. I think they're a little overvalued in this spot. I think UCF has given up too many points, like 24. I think Houston can keep it under 3 scores on the road. So I think they should handle that game. And then another one I'm looking at too, and this is a bad football team to bet against. It's Akron Zips. They got I think they got mine right around 6. I got them about 10.5, 11 points. So those are a couple early looks I'm looking at. Bowling Green over Akron, Houston plus the points, and Appalachian State laying the 6.5.
I like these looks, and your Bowling Green goes right with our Matt Randall. So both Matt Randall and the Sauce liking Bowling Green to take care of business here. I like it. And Guru, we're talking about the team total for the Dolphins. Gurus get 13.5 and 14.5. It was earlier 13.5, but it started getting bet up in my book. It's now 14.5, plus 100 to the over, minus 138 to the under. Gegard A says Juju missed practice because of illness. Maybe Connor has a big game. That going from 67.5. Now, it wasn't 67.5 in my book, but it was available at different books, 67.5. It's now 58.5 here at this book. Wow. So Houston to cover the 23 is an interesting look there from Big Ragu. Before we put a bow on this game, I got to hear what you think about Miami, Florida State, Ragu. You know your team inside and out. What do you think happens this weekend? Miami, Florida State. It's got up to 5.5. It's now back down to 3.5. So a lot of movement in this game. Let me get the total out too, because I'd love to hear what you think about this total here quickly. Let me jump up. Okay, here we go. So wow, it's 3.5 now. We had 5.5 in the early show, so it's bouncing all over the place. Can't wait to hear what you think about that market move that's gone back to Miami. And then this total. Where the hell is it, man? Too many games on this card. This total. I'll bring up the total in a second, but what do you think of this move back to Miami?
It really doesn't surprise me because we go back to the old adage where, a lot of these kids have played against each other in high school. You can throw all the records, all the stats out the window. It's going to be blood and guts game on the field with both of these teams. Now, the way Taggart's been going about it of late, they have made some improvements on the defensive side. You could just draw a line through that Clemson game because that was a shit show game there. But I mean, if you look at the other games that they played in between after the Virginia game, they've kind of put a decent product on the field. I'm showing a little bit of signs of life with them as far as them being able to compete in conference. When they step up a notch against tough teams, it's no competition for them because they're definitely still outclassed, but we got to give Taggart another year. Diaz is in the same boat with Miami. They have their offensive struggles. Defensively, they're pretty sound, Miami, so you have to keep that in mind against the Florida State offensive line. So that's going to be the key matchup in the game. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be a lower-scoring game. I think it's going to be a game that maybe come down to a 3-point or touchdown either way. So, what I tell you, I've been having success with, and I haven't been advertising it, but I've been playing Florida State first halves, and they've been keeping pretty regularly, with the exception of the Clemson game. So that's a look I would give everybody here. Look at Florida State in the first half. You might lay a point, or maybe even pick them for that matter. So we'll see what comes about. If heavy money comes on Miami, wait till the kickoff and take Florida State in the first half, because they will start fast as far as scripted plays and how they've been running them. So they've been having success with that.
I like it. I like it. And what do you think about this total at 47.5?
47.5. Man, I tell you, that's a tough one. I would probably lean towards the under on that game.
Lean towards the under. We got Houston plus the points. App State, Bowling Green, Florida State, first half from our Ragu. Big Ragu, tell us about Vegas. When are you getting there, and what hotel will you guys be partying at most of the time? Where will you be gambling?
We're going to stay we're getting there. Most of us are getting there like Thursday, Friday. I'm getting there for Thursday. Some of the other guys, I think Dom's coming in earlier, but majority of us will be there by Friday. So basically, we're going to be at a place called the Orleans. It's a nice little sleepy place off the strip. It's a great horse book. A lot of big horse players hang out there, and it's a fun spot. It's a Boyd property. And going there for like the last 10, 12 years religiously for Breeders' Cup, and we have a great time. And hopefully, most of they're coming in, and we're all going to meet up Saturday for the Cup races. Got some college football and NFL on Sunday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, most of the crew should be there.
Oh man, that sounds like heaven to me. Heaven. Well, I'll stay in touch with you to see how we can get some of you guys popping up live, because man, we want to live vicariously through you. If you're in the Vegas area, the Orleans, with the low bag, with the boys, man. God, that sounds real good. Okay, well, I don't have a lot of looks on this card. 3 NBA plays, and that's it. But I will be on Liveline, and I'll be heading there right now, and I will be making moves. I need to find some prop action because I'm still too scared. Ali Ador says Steelers defense is good. They get a lot of sacks. What do you think about the 4.5 sack prop? Do you think that the problem with that 4.5 sack prop is the only team getting sacks will be the Steelers? What do you think of the 4.5 sack prop, Ragu?
It's a lot of sacks, 4.5 in one game. But hey, you know what the way they were playing this team, like look at the Giants. How many sacks Eli was on his back? You know, when these teams are going bad, they go bad. So you need 5 sacks to get the job done. That'd be a pass for me. I don't want. I'd rather play the yardage or the catches. Okay. Even though he's probably going to be running for his life, Fitzpatrick. But we'll see.
All right,
he's pretty smart though. He's a Harvard grad, so I wouldn't bet against him as far as the number of sacks go. He's not that stupid.
He's not. He also screams in a woman's voice. From our days up in Buffalo, we have many tapes of him scream the highest pitch scream you could possibly imagine. We're talking like an 8-year-old woman scream. I guess 8-year-old girl scream, I should say. Ragu, man, I will be talking to you throughout the week. I'm so jealous of you guys partying together. It makes me so happy to know you guys are all going to be hanging together. It truly makes me so happy. Sergio, yes. The Niners. We're going to go 10-0 before a loss, I think. Ragu, thank you so much for joining us. Follow this man on Twitter. He always drops his action, and then he shows you the success of his action after each day. Transparent and honest and a great capper. Big Ragu, follow him. Big Ragu 62. Thank you so much for joining us, Ragu, and have an incredible time in Vegas.
Thank you, my man. Always a pleasure to be with you, and of course our guys in the chat. Much love and respect to everybody. Keep grinding to cash them tickets.
There he is, the Big Ragu. We have final scores coming in. Ali Hador says over on the sacks. We have final scores coming in. Jason H 24-10. I'm copy and paste that. NC as game going to end 13-14 Dolphins. Man. That will earn you a Vegas Gun Genius Award. All right, I'm just on 3 spots. Raptors, Nuggets, Spurs. Oh, Cali in HD. Gonna copy and paste that. Kai in HD. Sorry, why do I keep saying Cali? Kai in HD. My fault. Kai in HD. Gonna grab that right there. Bob Augustino says, you are the realest, big. Rye Cape Connor, longest TD over 14 and a half. All right, gonna copy and paste that right now. Keith Sadler giving us a final score of Steelers 27-10. Oh, D Money 38-10. All right, we'll copy and paste that. Glenn Elliott, man, giving us an early look on Capitals Leafs, like in the over tomorrow. That's copy and paste. All right, I'm going to head off and be on the live line. That pops off in less than half an hour. That pops off in 23 minutes, and I will be there enjoying every second of it. Glenn Elliott, man, 34-10. Take it, he says, with Steelers secondary, I can see them needing to buy time, ultimately getting sacked 4 times, leaving 1 left for Rudolph. I've got to make some moves. I got decisions to make fast, and I'm going to need your help. Please join me on the live line. I got to have action in this game, but I just don't want to make it foolish. NC, 17-14 Dolphins. Okay, I apologize there, NC. Much love to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Do we have Freddie Fortune in the house? Because I got to make moves. Freddie Fortune, please welcome to the show. Freddie Fortune. Freddie.
Hey,
We got to make moves. I got to run over to Flash's place as fast as possible.
don't go to blast.
Don't
to
go?
Flash.
Yeah? Okay.
No, he stinks.
He stinks. doesn't
Yeah,
he?
he's
Okay.
an old man.
No, I don't know. I mean, he was a professional soccer player.
Oh, that makes him young again.
Yeah,
You're right.
It does. Freddie Fortune coming off 2 big wins. Eh?
2 big wins.
Little winning streak
and,
for you.
I stopped sucking at the Pick Six contest.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You had a good week?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm now at 600, I think.
Oh, nice
It's
work.
Still shitty, but
No, that's not shitty. That's not. That means you're over 500. Ricardo Gutierrez is excited. So is Ron Lofton. You're getting the double Fs. For Freddie Fortune.
oh,
Not
I
for
thought fucking Freddy or
no,
something
no, no,
like
no,
that.
no, no, no. They love you. They love you.
Really?
Yeah. So can you remind us of your 2 big wins?
Yeah. Well, it was like an oceanic. Is that how it?
Yeah, that's how it's.
It was like an Australian Cup between New Zealand and
Yeah.
Australia in netball, and it won. It was Australia at -2.5
Mm.
at -120,
Yes.
and also international handball Georgia +5.5.
Yeah.
It won again,
Nice work.
and now I got two plays.
All right, let's hear him, man. Where are you at?
It's Norway women.
Oh, the
handball.
Norwegian women. Nice.
Yeah, Norwegian. That's the word I was looking for.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's it.
Norwegian women in handball.
Yes.
All right, who they playing?
These are weird names. It's
Feel free.
Storhamar women
Ah, beautiful.
-8.5.
God,
over
makes me
the
hard hearing
Jerpen women at -134.
that. Jeez,
That's
they both sound hot.
that's an easy play,
That is easy.
but I got an interesting play that I'm not. This is not like an official play for people.
Jesus. All right.
But I want to look like a serious capper, so I'm giving out my personal plays on the show.
Perfect.
This is both teams to score 25 or more goals at +135.
Is that with those Norwegian women?
Yeah.
Oh, so
same.
you're doubling up on the game. Okay. So it's those Storhammer.
Storhamar.
Storhamar.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That sounds good, man.
Need some help?
No, God, no. I could get it done by myself. Or with others, but with women.
Oh.
Okay.
Do you have any women for yourself?
You know how it works down here in Rica. They're for sale.
Do you know why I am so happy today?
Why you're so happy? No, why are you so happy?
I abandoned my wife.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, she.
That skank had me like crazy.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
I can cap sports
Yeah.
like I should.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful news.
I've been visiting nightclubs and
Oh yeah. So you,
do you know what I mean?
motorboating. Have you? So she's left your parents' basement. She's out.
No, I left my house.
Oh, you left your house.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's there without my mom and that lesbian
Oh, well,
girl that I used to.
come on. She wasn't
love.
cheating with you with other women. It was other men.
Yeah, and the mechanic.
Yeah.
Remember?
I remember the mechanic well.
Fucking bald guy.
Yeah, yeah. He was really giving it to your wife. So that's too bad.
Let's not think about the past.
No, let's think about the future.
Let's think
Show
about
us your
the future.
motorboating again. You're back. Freddie's back in action.
Yeah.
That's exciting. We'll hear
Larry
where.
taught me some things about prostitutes,
Sure,
so
as he should, as he should.
it was a fun
Um,
ride on the weekend.
Yeah, no, that's. I'm proud of you, man. Can you give us your double up play in Norwegian
Yeah.
handball?
Storhamar women at -8.5, and also Both teams to score more than 25. Well, 25 goals or more.
Sure.
At plus 135.
Sure.
And that's it. I bet
Sweet. I gotta go. I gotta run over and hit Flash's place. Could you give us a lecture?
Yeah, leche en los bookmakers.